Hey there everyone, this is Jerbear the Third, and this is another how-to video. Today I'm going to be going over how to DPS in VCR hard mode. The footage is from a patch or two ago, but the principles are still going to apply as I go over general principles. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Thanks for watching. For opening burst damage, watch when Zmaja stops channeling, and you have roughly 4 to 5 seconds until she'll start taking damage, as you see here. Start casting dots during this 4 to 5 second gap, and I usually hold my ultimate until she ports. Once you're restacked on her tail, just hard focus her. I will often do my personal buffs during her port time, such as channeled acceleration. You can tell when she's porting by the wave of her hand and a portal opening up underneath her. To move quickly, turn and you can find where she will be and where this new stack will be. This part will be a combo mechanic of Flare and Hoarfrost. For Flare, you always want to call Flare and then location. Me having Flare here, I would call Flare new tail. Saying Flare on me does not tell people where you are or where you will be. Next, you'll notice 2 people died with the Flare. Someone was in group with Hoarfrost and likely died with it or dropped it in group. With Hoarfrost, you want to step just enough outside of group to still get heals, but not put others in danger when you drop it. If you have Hoarfrost while transitioning, try to stay close to a healer. You can roll dodge to a safe drop spot if needed, since you'll be slowed. Next is watching for Siroria's jump. She jumps to the furthest person. You can always restack at the center of her landing spot after she lands, and you'll be safe. Her fulminate goes out in 4 directions and curves. The main thing with Relequin is his sparkles when he heavies that will stun you, and then making sure to regroup if he teleports and drops his lightning puddle in group. Ideally, your raid lead will call left or right to direct the group. With Galenwe, the main thing to watch out for is the small ice ring he drops. It takes a lot of damage and quickly, so don't stack too close to him. I like to call it his baby cage. In Cloudrest, AoE damage is really important, especially if the minis will be on Zmaja at any point. You want to make sure your dots are hitting Zmaja as well as the mini, and most often you'll be single target focusing the mini while it's alive. The important thing to remember with orbs is with every increased difficulty in VCR, the orbs output more damage when they die. It is generally not a good idea to have all the DPS focus them on hard mode, because if they all die at the same time, it is a lot of damage at once. It is generally good practice to have just one DPS focus them on hard mode. Ideally, the kite healer or mini tank will apply Ellie Drain on the orbs so that they die a little bit easier when there's just one person focusing them. If you are the orb killer, try to stay as close to a group as you possibly can so you still get healing, and call it for help if you get the Hoarfrost, because you get maimed if you have the Hoarfrost. Next, we'll talk about some general portal principles. You can orient your starting point by the entrance, or north, as that is where the Shaded Zmaja always starts. Wait for the tank to call safe, enter, then go left or right. You usually work out with your portal partner which direction you'll go. Place dots on one crystal and single target the next. Strategy of your damage will depend on your class in some ways. Make sure to ask your tank to Ellie Drain the crystals, as this makes it so much easier. Once the first room explosion starts, run to the pad immediately. Don't stress too much about getting that extra second on a crystal. And when you start running the orbs, try to wait for a sphere close to an orb to run it. There is almost always a sphere that will end up close to the orb. It is important to remember in Veteran Cloudrest a dead team member's body has a shade that is created on their death. Kill that shade and then you can res. If you try to res before that, you'll die. You can tell a team member's body is clean if the purple aura attached to their shade is gone. Finally, we have Execute. With Siroria included in the minis, you'll have flares and Execute, 2 at the same time, so there are 2 stacks. DPS, you must hug Zmaja's leg on your side. This is to avoid supports unnecessarily getting baneful, as only the tank with taunt, plus the 5 closest others get baneful. Focus Zmaja unless orbs come up and kill them on your side. Equally, focus creepers on your side and maybe help out the other side if you can. Do not step far out of stack to do so. With Hoarfrost, you can drop it in between the stacks or slightly behind group. If you get flare, call which side you are on. If it is doubled up, one person goes to the other side and then returns to their original side after flare. One good principle for double-sided flare is whoever calls theirs first stays unless it's a healer. Healers should never move, and commit once you actually say it or move. Whew, that was a lot of information. Hold tight because I'm going to show a partial run right after this. And I know I just went over a bunch of mechanics, but overlapping mechanics is the thing to beat as a DPS. Once you get a general handle of managing it all together, you'll be able to pump out more DPS, and again, AoE is usually king in VCR. I know I can't include every tiny thing in a video, so I've added in just a few tips in the description. Feel free to drop any questions below. Make sure to subscribe and also check out my Twitch for live raids. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of the video.
I know. Under this moonlight.